If you feel like your mind is always on, if you wish you could escape racing thoughts, rumination, and high anxiety, or if you have difficulty accepting unpredictability, I want you to know this is not your fault. You may have a condition called overmethylation that can impact how you think, feel, and act. Welcome to Eat for Life Nutritional Therapy. I'm Samantha Gilbert, founder of Eat for Life. I'm a nutritional therapy counselor specializing in a functional nutrition approach to supporting methylation imbalances through nutritional therapy. If you're new to methylation, here's what you need to know. Methylation is a chemical reaction that occurs in every cell and tissue in your body except red blood cells. It regulates many substances necessary for your body to function. Your body has an on-off switch for certain hormones, neurotransmitters, enzymes, and chemicals. These switches are called methyl groups. A methyl group is made up of one carbon atom bonded with 3 hydrogen atoms. These methyl groups can drastically shift how you think, feel, and act. They can even influence whom you choose to marry and what career path you pursue. During methylation, methyl groups are added to your DNA. These groups control DNA by binding to genes and telling them whether to express themselves or not. Methyl groups bind differently in different types of cells. For example, they bind one way in a skin cell and another way in a liver cell. This is part of how a liver cell knows it's a liver cell. Methyl groups are chemically dormant, so when they attach to a protein, they change how that protein responds to other substances in the body. And this is methylation in action. Methylation deeply affects enzymes, hormones, and neurotransmitters, many of which are proteins. It also plays a key role in your body's ability to detoxify. Now, let's talk about epigenetics, which is the science of how genes behave throughout your life and whether those changes can be passed to your children and grandchildren. It's closely connected to mental health and neurotransmitter regulation. Methylation is but one epigenetic pathway. Here's what this means. Your DNA stays the same, but epigenetic tags called single nucleotide polymorphisms, or SNPs, change throughout your life. These tags decide which genes turn on and which stay off. These changes are not permanent. They happen over your lifetime, especially during major transitions like puberty, menopause, and pregnancy. They also occur from emotional stress, poor diet, and environmental toxins like air pollution and contaminated water. Epigenetics is controlled by histones, protein spools that DNA wraps around. Histones adjust how tightly or loosely DNA winds around them. Loosely wound DNA allows genes to express more. Tightly wound DNA means less expression. Think of methyl groups as a switch and histones as a dial. Every cell in your body has a unique histone and methylation pattern, and this gives your cells their instructions, or as I like to say, marching orders. Overall methylation status matters most and can't be determined by genetic testing alone, like the MTHFR test and the resulting one-size-fits-all treatment, methylfolate, because the MTHFR test isn't an accurate assessment or an appropriate guide for true methylation disorders. At best, it's only 30% expressive. Many people also believe MTHFR is part of the primary methylation pathway. While MTHFR is a powerful methylating enzyme in one part of your system, it's actually part of the backup pathway, not the primary one. And it certainly doesn't play a prominent role in mental health. As I mentioned, methyl groups control DNA by binding to genes and telling them whether to express themselves or not. Methylation status is determined by a tug of war between enzymes for undermethylation versus enzymes for overmethylation. Whichever group wins determines your methylation status, not one enzyme. Many clients come to me with genetic test results. You may have SNPs showing up, but this doesn't mean those SNPs are causing you any trouble. So what happens in overmethylation? Well, this biotype has a genetic tendency to produce too many methyl groups, leading to elevated serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine, which causes hyperexcitability in the brain. Overmethylators often feel like their mind is always on. They tell me they wish they could escape racing thoughts, rumination, and high anxiety. They're often physically restless, unable to remain still, and feel compelled to move around frequently. Overmethylators tend to struggle with obsessive compulsive personality disorder, or OCPD, which is quite different than true OCD. With OCPD, I often see rule oriented behavior with an excessive focus on details, along with a lot of rigidity, an inability to delegate tasks or to adapt to change. This biotype struggles with control issues and difficulty accepting unpredictability, essentially a my way or the highway, black and white type of thinking. Other symptoms include verbosity, musical and artistic abilities, paranoia, and sleep problems. I created my high folate cookbook to help overmethylated individuals understand why folate therapy and a higher percentage of dietary plant foods work better for this biotype. In my clinic, I approach methylation imbalances from a functional, holistic perspective. This includes appropriate lab work and a comprehensive plan designed to support reducing excessive methyl groups, balance blood sugar, hormones, brain function, and gut health. I provide personalized guidance and collaborate with your medical care team when needed. My approach gives you clarity on what's causing your anxiety, depression, or OCPD, creates stability, and shows progress over time, all with a customized plan based on your unique needs. So, if you're struggling with many of the symptoms associated with overmethylation, I encourage you to book a free discovery call with me to see how I can help you and if we're a good fit.